Some trends announce themselves loudly. Spring and summer 2026 doesn't. It arrives like a quiet decision, like a woman who has been watched for too long and finally stops performing. And if you've felt it lately, this strange feeling that outfits don't hit the way they used to, that getting dressed is suddenly more emotional than seasonal, it's because fashion is no longer just changing silhouettes, it's changing the reason we dress. Happy Sunday and a truly good start to February. I hope this month meets you gently, and I hope it gives you clarity. Because the way we're entering this season, clarity is the real luxury. Welcome to GTWJ. Hi, I'm Ju. And before we begin, grab a cup of coffee, tea, or something nice to drink and settle in. Spring and summer 2026 fashion trends will be everywhere, but not because they're loud, not because they're shocking, not because they're new. They'll be everywhere because they match the psychological temperature of the world right now. For the past few years, so much of women's style has been built like a resume. Every outfit had to prove something. Prove you're interesting, prove you're current, prove you have taste, prove you have access, prove you are not invisible. And what I want to talk about today is the new lens. The lens that makes this season make sense. Because if we keep describing fashion as hemlines, colors, and prints, we will miss the real shift. Spring and summer 2026 is the season of choosing without momentum. That's the trend. Not a single fabric, though fabrics matter. Not a single dress shape, though silhouettes matter. The trend is the psychological posture behind the clothes. Women dressing as if they no longer need the world to confirm the decision. And that is why this season will spread fast. Because even women who don't care about fashion still care about what it feels like to live inside a body, inside a social world, inside a culture that watches and ranks and records. Fashion is simply where that pressure becomes visible. So let's use Zimmermann Spring 2026 ready-to-wear as a case study. Not as a review, not as a brand moment, not as runway worship, but as a style guide. Because what Zimmermann shows here is not just pretty. It is emotionally instructive. It shows how a woman dresses when she's no longer trying to earn permission. Look at the first impression of the collection. There's air, there's movement, there's volume that doesn't apologize. There are watercolor florals that don't look like prints designed for Instagram. They look like memory, like summer that existed before it was curated. And then there's something even more interesting. The clothes are both romantic and grounded. Softness, yes, but not softness as weakness, softness as authority. That distinction matters because the old way of doing soft was soft but still sexy, soft but still tight, soft but still obvious. In other words, softness that still begged to be validated. Spring and summer 2026 is giving us softness that does not ask to be rewarded. That's why you're seeing dresses that float away from the body instead of clinging to it. That's why you're seeing shapes that move before they show. That's why you're seeing outfits that don't look optimized for the male gaze or optimized for the algorithm or optimized for the comment section. The most viral trend of this season is going to be the end of optimization, and you can see it all over these Zimmermann looks. Let's start with the volume story. You have those sweeping, airy dresses, some with tiered, cloud-like layers, some with a watercolor wash that feels like sun hitting fabric through a window. These aren't statement dresses in the old sense. They're not saying, look at me, they're saying, I exist in my own atmosphere. And a woman in her own atmosphere is the most modern thing you can wear. Because for the last few years, the world has trained women to be hyper-responsive, to scan the room, to scan the feed, to scan the mood, to anticipate, to adjust, to soften ourselves in the presence of judgment. So when a dress moves like this, when it takes up space with fabric, with air, with drift, it's not just aesthetic, it's psychological. It's a refusal to be reduced. Now, look at the color palette. There's white, there's sand, there's mocha, there's teal, there's warm orange, there's pink that feels like pigment, not neon. These aren't trend colors, these are lived colors. They look like places, like climates, like memories. They don't scream, I'm on trend. They whisper, I'm here. That's a huge change, because the previous era of fashion, especially the social media era, trained women to dress in a way that gets instantly understood. The outfit had to read quickly. It had to be legible in 1 second. It had to have a punchline. Spring and summer 2026 is moving away from the punchline and back into having the paragraph. And that's why these pieces will be everywhere. They're wearable, yes, but more importantly, they're emotionally wearable. They let you breathe. Now let's talk about the denim story, because it's one of the quietest signals of this shift. There are looks here that bring in denim in a way that feels intentionally untrendy. Not Y2K costume, not micro-trend denim, not denim as shock. You see denim that is structured, almost uniform-like, sometimes with a belt, sometimes with exaggerated sleeves or volume. Denim as a decision, not a trend. And then you see trousers that are long and fluid, some in brown, some in white, some paired with tops that are not trying to do the most. Here is what this tells you about spring and summer 2026. The season is obsessed with the woman who looks like she has a life, not a woman who looks like she has a photo shoot, a life, a schedule, a story, somewhere to be that isn't a performance, which is why this season is going to be so viral, because people are exhausted. They are tired of dressing like content. They are tired of being a brand. They want to return to something that feels like reality, but elevated reality, beautiful reality, intentional reality. And that's where Zimmerman becomes a perfect case study. The styling is elevated, but it's not desperate. It's romantic, but not chaotic. It's feminine, but it doesn't beg. Now let's talk about the silhouettes that will be everywhere. Number one, the new waistline, not the cinched, dramatic look at my body waistline, not the aggressive hourglass built for reaction. The new waistline is often softened, dropped, or implied. Look at those dresses that drape, that gather gently, that create shape through fabric movement rather than through compression. That's the new mood. And here's why. Compression has become symbolic. A tight outfit today doesn't just say sexy. It often says I'm trying. It says I'm proving. It says I'm asking to be rated. And a lot of women are done with being rated. So the new silhouette says, I'm not applying for approval. I'm dressing from inside. You'll still see beautiful shapes, of course. You'll still see definition. But it won't be definition that looks like a request. It will be definition that looks like a choice. Number two, the return of romance, but with discipline. Notice how the floral looks here aren't childish. They're not sugary. They're watercolor, blurred like they've been lived in. And the romance isn't only about flowers, it's about motion. It's about fabric that moves when you walk, not fabric that only looks good when you stand still. This is the season where movement becomes elegance again. And elegance is a serious word. It doesn't mean expensive. It doesn't mean perfect. It means you look like you are not fighting your own presence. That's why the tiered dresses will be everywhere. That's why soft ruffles will be everywhere. Not because they're trendy, but because they create the visual experience of ease. Number three, the grounded goddess. There's a look here. Golden bodice with a flowing skirt that feels like a modern statue. There are teal dresses that feel like they belong at a long dinner in summer, where you arrive with calm and leave with calm. There are whites that feel ceremonial without being bridal. Spring and summer 2026 is obsessed with ceremony, but private ceremony, not look at me ceremony, the kind of ceremony you do for yourself. And this is where your internal authority lens becomes the most important thing in the video. Because internal authority is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need witnesses. It doesn't need to be agreed with. Internal authority looks like a woman who can wear a dramatic shape without becoming dramatic as a person. A lot of people can wear a big dress. Very few can wear a big dress and still look like they belong to themselves. That's the difference between someone dressing for attention and someone dressing from self-trust. And now the most important part, choosing without momentum. Momentum is what has been dressing people for years. Momentum is when you don't choose something because it's true for you. You choose it because it's moving through culture. It's when you put something on and the real reason is everyone is doing it. It's trending. I don't want to be behind. Momentum is not style. Momentum is fear with better lighting. So what does choosing without momentum look like in spring and summer 2026? It looks like a woman wearing a soft white dress with volume and not explaining why. not calling it coastal, not calling it old money, not calling it anything, just wearing it because she likes the feeling of it. It looks like a woman choosing a bold colour, orange, teal, a deep pink. Not because it's the colour of the season, but because she's tired of living in neutrals as a disguise. It looks like a woman wearing denim in a structured way, like armour, but still feminine, still graceful, because she's learning how to carry strength without becoming hard. It looks like a woman mixing romance with utility. A soft top with trousers that look like they were designed for real movement. A blouse with a skirt that doesn't restrict her stride. A look that says, I am not here to be displayed, I am here to live. That's the new direction. I want to pause for just a moment, because if this way of talking about fashion resonates with you, not trends, not shopping lists, but meaning, that's exactly what GTWJ issue 03 is about. It's for women who feel fashion changing, but don't want shallow explanations. If you already have issue 001 and 002, issue 003 builds on them. And if you're new, it's a very good place to start. Now, let's get specific with the Zimmerman looks, because I want you to be able to translate this into your own life without copying, without cosplaying, without turning it into another aesthetic performance. Look at the tiered floral dresses, the ones that look like watercolor clouds. The first thing notice is that the romance is not cute. It's not trying to be adorable. The scale of the print is large enough to feel mature. The movement is generous enough to feel confident. This is a big spring-summer 2026 signal. Femininity returns, but not the version that asks permission. For a while, femininity became complicated. Women felt that being feminine meant being dismissed, or being sexualized, or being taken less seriously. So a lot of women moved toward minimalism as protection, toward sharpness as safety, toward neutral palettes as invisibility armor. This season is offering a different possibility. Femininity that is not fragile. You can see it in the shoulders that are soft but present, in the ruffles that don't look like decoration but like architecture, in the way the dresses don't cling, they move. That movement says, I will not hold my breath to be accepted. Then you have the clean white looks, the ones with cutwork or sculptural details. And here's where we need to be intelligent, because white dress is always at risk of becoming cliché. But the difference here is structure. The white isn't styled as innocent, it's styled as strong. The white becomes a canvas for shape, for proportion, for calm authority. This is another key trend of spring-summer 2026, purity without innocence. A lot of people confuse those. Purity without innocence is when something is clean, refined, and deliberate, but it does not present itself as naive. It's not trying to look young, it's trying to look clear. And clarity is the new elegance. Now look at the pants stories, the brown trousers, the white trousers, the long lines. This is where the season gets practical. Spring and summer 26 trends will be everywhere because they make sense for real wardrobes. The trousers are long and fluid, which instantly creates elegance without needing to show skin. You can wear a simple top and still look intentional. You can wear a blouse and not like you're trying too hard. You can wear sandals and still look refined. This is the season where people stop confusing effortless with lazy. Effortless becomes the outfit holds itself, and that's also internal authority. You stop adding things to convince people. You stop overstyling to control interpretation. You stop building an outfit like a courtroom argument. Now the denim dress, there's a piece here that's denim, structured with volume. That's not just a trend, that's a cultural message. For years, denim was either streetwear coded or casual coded. In this new era, denim becomes sculptural. It becomes deliberate. It becomes something you can wear to dinner. Not because it's flashy, but because it's shaped like a decision. The message is, even my casual is intentional. That's what you should take from it, not go buy denim. The takeaway is, everyday pieces are being elevated through silhouette, and that is what will be everywhere. Then there's the warm orange suit-like look, shorts with tailoring, strong colour. This is the season where colour returns, but not as childish dopamine dressing. Colour returns as presence. A lot of people have been hiding inside beige, hiding inside black, hiding inside quiet luxury as a way to avoid being seen. Spring and Summer 2026 says, you can be seen without being loud. Teal is a perfect example. In this collection, teal shows up like confidence, not screaming, not begging, not edgy, just there. That's a grown woman color. It's not trying to be the moment, it's trying to be timeless in motion. Now look at the pink. There's a long pink dress that moves like silk in air. Pink has been abused by trends. Pink has been used as a joke, as a costume, as an aesthetic, but here it's treated with seriousness. And that's another trend of Spring-Summer 2026. Softness re-enters with dignity. That's what makes it viral, because so many women miss softness, but they don't want to be infantilized by it. They want softness that still looks intelligent. Understand that Spring and Summer 2026 isn't telling you to dress more feminine. It's telling you to dress more self-trusting. Femininity, tailoring, denim, florals, volume. These are just the languages. The message underneath is, stop outsourcing your decisions to momentum. If you want to wear florals, wear them because you want to live inside romance, not because TikTok decided romance is back. If you want to wear denim, wear it because you want structure in your day, not because denim dresses are trending. If you want to wear white, wear it because you want clarity, not because white looks expensive. The worst thing that happened to style is that people started dressing like there is a correct answer. There isn't. There is only alignment. And the Spring-Summer 2026 trend that will be everywhere is alignment, because people are tired of performing. Now, there's one more layer we need to talk about: status. Spring and summer was becoming about proving yourself constantly, your status, your place. And that's true. For a while, summer fashion especially became a social ranking system. The right vacation aesthetic, the right linen, the right sandals, the right bag in the right background. And suddenly, style wasn't about beauty, it was about evidence. Evidence that you have a life worth envying. Spring and Summer 2026 is quietly ending that. Not by becoming messy, not by becoming sloppy, but by becoming uninterested in being used as proof. That's why these looks feel like they belong to women who are not auditioning. And when women stop auditioning, fashion gets better. Because the clothes no longer have to shout. They can breathe. They can be art again. They can be personal again. And this is why the trends will spread fast. Because the minute one woman stops performing, another woman feels permission to stop performing too. That's how cultural shifts move. Not by rules, by relief. So if you want to translate Spring and Summer 2026 into your wardrobe without copying, here is the timeless way to understand it. Choose one element that represents your internal authority. For some women, it will be volume, a skirt that moves, a dress that doesn't cling, a blouse with shape. For some women, it will be clarity, white, cream, clean lines, fewer accessories, fewer signals. For some women, it will be structure, denim shaped like tailoring, a belt, a strong shoulder. For some women, it will be color as presence, teal, warm orange, a deep pink. But whatever you choose, the point is not the item. The point is that you chose it without momentum. You chose it because it felt like you. And that is what people will feel when they see you. Not trendiness, not rich, not expensive, but coherence. Coherence is the new magnetism. And when you have coherence, you don't need to prove anything with your outfit. Your presence does the work. That's the new era. And this is why Spring and Summer 2026 fashion trends will be everywhere, because the world is hungry for women who look like they belong to themselves. If this video stayed with you, if it named something you felt but couldn't explain, that's exactly the kind of conversation G was created for. Issue 001, issue 002, and now issue 003 go deeper than YouTube ever can. They're not about what to buy, they're about how to see, how to build taste, identity, and elegance without chasing anything. They're linked below if you want to continue this conversation privately. Thank you so much for being here, for listening, and for thinking with me. I truly love you guys, and I don't take this space lightly at all. I'll see you in the next one.